Hello and welcome to Rise of Cultures. This time we are in the campaign map fighting Christy's Creek, and we're starting with the southern battle. These Persians are, well, not a tough challenge, but there's this wall in the middle, and it's an excellent spot to put your archers. They will fight their archers or the units getting closest. That might cost you a few losses, but that's not really a concern. So let's just put them up here, side, and let the cavalry be on the sides too. And in the end, well, if they want to join in the fight, they can join in the fight. They're really not necessary to win it. Now, first off, there's no of our cavalry going through, so let's just eradicate those archers behind the wall. If no one else is, if they're not there, they can't hit our archers. And we're left pretty much alone and free to roam into battle with the rest of their units. Now let's move on to the second battle. Let's move up a little north here and take this one on. As you might have noticed in the first battle, we didn't lose too many troops, and well, that's mainly because we can stand hiding here behind the walls and they can do nothing about it. Our light infantry will well, take on most of the damage, and our cavalry doesn't really come in and get to be the closest enemy to the enemy's units, and thus they will not charge them. Now let's figure out how to kill off those archers again, and let's move in with the balls here, and then we're again toughing them down, and they're not having much of a chance. Now let's move on to the third battle. Now let's get further north a bit and take the easternmost province here. And you might note that I'm lacking one cavalryman, but well, don't worry, I won't miss him that much. Well, in fact, he ain't actually needed to win the battle. Now, thus I have found it rather cruel to pay or wait for his re-arrival on the battlefield. Might lose a few extra as this time my cavalry choose to ride through, so I might lose too many of them to avoid bringing them back to life. Now we're down at missing 3 of them, so I'll probably get in another few. We're doing the fourth battle here on the western flank of the enemy, and well, it's basically the same story. They didn't change their formation, thus we are not changing ours either. There's no really reason to do so, and thus we're putting in everything on the sides. And let's go with the battle. Again, take out the archers here in the center to make sure they will not interfere too much with your own archers. I've already lost a few, and that's not really a concern of mine, because it doesn't affect me too much. It's much worse for them. Let's take the fifth and final battle up here and see if there is anything we need to worry about. Well, for some reason it put some light infantry behind the archers, so our archers are going to stand very close to their archers. Well, there'll be a shootout, but I got 4 lines of them and they only got 1. Now put in the cavalry, and let's go for the final battle and mow down the enemy. Now put those on the flank, as the archers here are already dragging down the enemy light infantry. That way they will, if we put them in there, they will just engage them rather than get rid of the archers. Now I'll say thank you for watching this video.